Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to 20 something rand. Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You are in here for solid content. Please believe me and trust me on that. So today I want to talk about my first job experience in my life. Yeah, my first job experience, and it wasn't a remote job, it was actually a physical job. That was when I was serving in Zaria. I can't believe I'm an ex-copper. Yes, I actually passed out last month. So a huge congratulations to me and other coppers, and right now we are in the real world. But then my first job experience, I had that experience, that was last year October. I actually worked for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, guys. I couldn't even believe it. In fact, at that time when I started working, I couldn't even tell my parents. Like, I really slimmed down. Like, this tree that you're seeing, it was like level 0. I slimmed down. It was, the stress was showing on my body. That job really stressed me. So, okay, how I got the inspiration, to start working, rather, I worked as a waitress in a bar and club, guys. Yes, about all the jobs, that was the only one that was convenient for me because I actually served in the barracks and in a secondary school actually, and we are meant to go to work by 7 and close by 3. So the only convenient job for me then was for me to work night work. It's going to be much convenient for me because in my PPA I work from Monday to Fridays. Why I started, I was just in my room that day, and I had already promised myself that during my service year I was not going to ask for a dime from my parents. In fact, I survived my service year on 3,000 naira. The only thing I got from home was food stuff. Once I go on break, I just like get food stuff and come back. And I have this my I'm this sort of person that I find it really hard to ask for help, and I hate being broke. So I was just in my room in October and I'm like, okay, I need to get something doing apart from the 2,000 because obviously it's not sustaining me. So I just wrote down my CV. I went to a mate. It's just like 5 minutes walk from the barracks gate, main gate, and then I apply. After like a week, they call me for an interview. Okay, you're a copper, you have like a PPA. How are you going to cope like working in a bar and club at night? Because usually I'm going to go to work by 5, and then normal days apart from club days I'm going to close maybe by 10, 11, 1 a.m. But then on club days, which is compulsory for all waitresses, we are going to close by 4 a.m. And me closing by 4 a.m., obviously I'm going to go to my PPA, what, like 7:30. I'm like, yes, I can do it. I was up for a challenge. And one thing I like about myself is I sometimes love challenge. Like, solid challenge. I'm going to take it up. I'm going to just tell myself that, okay, let me just try it. Let me just try it. So I took in the work the first day I went, and for a new person working in that place, you're going to go to work every day. You heard me? Every day. From Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week. And then I was so lucky after like 1 week, Abby, was it 2 week? I was being put on a shift. That means I'm going to go to work like just twice or 4 times a week. That was how lucky I was. I was like the first person in that place where they just like gave me that opportunity after like 2 weeks of working there. Abby, was it 1 week safe? And the pay was 30,000 naira per month. So it was not easy. It wasn't totally. I remember like when I come back to the barracks in the soldiers stay on TT, like, where are you? Who are you? Where coming from? Especially when I'm coming by 1, 12, 12 a.m. They're just like, who are you? And I'm just going to show them my ID cards, like, copper, where are you coming from? This place is not really safe and everything. And then from the main gate to my copper slot is like, it's like a 15-minute walk, and that place usually is very quiet. You just see me trekking gradually, like quietly. I was just picking up different things. But then I had my mind on something that I wanted to have this job experience for me to know what it feels like um to work hard for money. And I feel like That experience really changed a lot of things to me. I was able to be very grateful, especially to my dad and people who give me money. That's easy to work for money and then you pick carrying it. I be you giving somebody. You need to really be grateful. When someone should remove, even if it's 1,000 naira, guy, be thankful because you don't know this kind of stress they went through to be able to even give you part of that money. I had like different experiences working there. And so many people are so condescending. They just believe that once you're working in a bar o'clock, that means you are uneducated, you are a prostitute, or you don't have maybe family a good family background. Do you get? There's this mentality that we really need to change. People treat waitresses with a lot of contempt and disrespect, honestly. I remember the first experience I had, I cried my eyes out. I'm a cry baby. Whenever I'm stressed, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm hurt, the first thing that comes to my mind is just for me to cry. That's like a healthy coping mechanism for me, honestly. Back into the para, I was just asking myself, why is it that why am I working here? What is it that I want that this is the place I feel like I have to work and to get to the money I want. I cried my eyes out. I just knew that life is difficult, like just staying there, working there rather for 6 weeks, having to hear my colleagues' story that they depend on this job, obviously some of them, and then all of us, the waitresses working there, we are either schooling or hustling. Like you get, it was just like a side hustle that that experience really shaped me. It really made me understand a lot of things, knowing that life is not easy, life is difficult. People are not finding it easy. So if you are healthy, if you can afford your needs, man, you better be grateful. You really need to be grateful, man. You really need to be grateful. I cried a lot, I learned a lot. I slimmed down. So, okay, when I came back for December break, my parents are like, "What's the problem? Is it that I'm not eating or what?" I couldn't even tell them this. Like, I work in a bar. I couldn't even tell them. You know, Nigerian parents. Bar. And then most of the advances you're going to get from men, they'll be like, this girl now hook up girl now, this girl now runs babe. I mean, this girl is a prostitute because obviously they're working here. I had to like change most of their perspective about it. Obviously, me working here because I'm hustling. I want money, not because I want to have it as a platform of meeting plethora of men, because you know men usually go there to the bar. And then sometimes I'm being surprised. And you know, okay, prior to my service, I'm this kind of naive. I'm naive and innocent based on the environment I grew. I didn't grow up in a ghetto environment or in a place where I can't really say I suffered all my life, and I'm so grateful to God for that. So coming to service and then working in that environment, it really changed my mind. Because number one, I easily trust people. But then I learned not to trust people easily. I did. Number two, I feel like the world was a fair place. I feel like people have empathy and sympathy. Hey, the second lesson I learned that people don't have sympathy. Most people rather don't have sympathy or empathy. And if you are going to behave naively, they are going to cheat you without regret. So the third lesson I learned was people they suffer, guy. People they suffer they much for this country, honestly, because I felt like if you are not doing much to change your situation, that means you are lazy. But then some people are genuinely hardworking, but then they find it so hard to progress. They really find it so hard. That's I really learned that too. And the fourth thing is sometimes you may see someone smiling often, but then they are really going through shit and a lot. I learned that too. One of the guy I meet friends with, he was really going through a lot. His mom was in coma, his family, his everything, but then he's the most jovial, smiling person ever whenever we come to work. So I feel sometimes giving yourself experience giving yourself chance rather to experience some kind of thing, it's have a way of shaping your adulthood and making you have a better thought and thinking or processes towards life. And I would say that I'm really grateful for my service here. I'm really grateful for my first job experience because obviously it has a way of developing me as an individual. It has a way of it really changed my perspective and perception about life and adulthood, and I'm really grateful. So, how was your first job experience? Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe because I love you. Bye.